Welcome to Instablogs Global Report. This is Shivanjali with fresh updates and citizen voices from all over the world. Top stories for the day are: has terrorism taken a backseat to economy as America observes 7th anniversary of 9/11? Nepal to free the slaves trapped by ancestral deaths. Civil war over the use of funds from gas resources in Bolivia threatens neighboring Brazil. And was the Indian physicist behind the Big Bang experiment a victim of institutionalized racism? According to a survey 7 years after the September 11 attacks, most believe the issue of terrorism has taken a backseat to economy in this election year. Our CJ Prince Campbell questions the veracity of the survey results from USA.
This is Prince Campbell, citizen journalist from the United States. It would not be wholly correct to state that 7 years after the September 11th attacks, terrorism has taken a back seat. Since the attacks, the federal government has made only limited progress toward preventing a catastrophic nuclear, biological, or chemical attack on U.S. soil and combating the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction abroad. The perpetuation of terrorism since then, and manhandling of the entire issue by the U.S. and its allies, has posed serious threats to international peace, as evident from subsequent events such as the 7/7 brutal attacks in London and elsewhere. The coalition forces seem to have veered from their real target, which comprised of elimination of Qaeda and Taliban forces. Although there has been no terrorist attack on U.S. soil since 9/11, the threat of a new major attack is still very real. Both terrorism and economic recession are major challenges confronting the United States.
Nepal's Maoist-led government has vowed to end the practice that has seen around 150,000 bonded laborers living in virtual slavery as they struggle hopelessly to pay off their debt. CJ Mukunda hopes that the decision will remove the last remains of feudal system.
This is Mukunda, citizen journalist reporting from Nepal. The government decided to abolish the Halyat system. This is an important step towards establishing social justice through abolition of the remnants of feudal system. The system is analogous to bonded labor and is a glaring example of the ruthless feudal relations that survives on exploitation held in debt bondage for generations. Those belonging to the lower ranks, especially untouchables and subalterns, are compelled to till and tend the land without being compensated for the labor. Once liberated and emancipated, they should not be forced to till the land which is not owned by them, as this is illegal and punishable by law. However, the decision needs effective implementation to ensure substantive improvement in the social and economic life of the bonded laborers. The abolition of the Halyat system should be complemented by alternative means of livelihood so that the Halyats can lead an independent and dignified life. Otherwise, they might relapse into subjugation.
Brazil is concerned over tension that erupted in Bolivia following the dispute over the use of natural resources. The thousands of demonstrators have taken over the streets in Santa Cruz. CJ Celso reports from Brazil.
This is Celso, citizen journalist reporting from Brazil. The situation is very tense in Bolivia, more specifically in Santa Cruz department, the richest and which has the largest natural gas reserves in the country. There is a risk of having a civil war. The conflicts start because of a decision by President Evo Morales that wants to use the funds obtained from the income of gas in social programs, reducing the financial resources of the departments. These 5 departments in Bolivia are the richest and want to become autonomous regions, opening the possibility for that Bolivia is divided into 2 countries. Between yesterday and today, thousands of demonstrators took the streets of Santa Cruz and federal buildings are being invaded. There are rumors that thousands of indigenous are going towards Santa Cruz to combat these separatist protesters. Moreover, these protesters attacked the gas pipeline that delivers natural gas to São Paulo state in Brazil, trying to force the Brazilian government to enter in the conflict. It is clear that the intention of these protesters is to overthrow a president who was democratically elected.
Was Satyendra Nath Bose one of the 3 main past and present physicists behind the Big Bang experiment, a victim of institutionalized racism when it came to recognizing his contribution with a Nobel? CJ Radhika from India reports on the brilliant contribution overlooked by the international community.
This is Radhika, citizen journalist reporting from India. Of the three main past and present physicists behind the landmark proton smashing experiment in Geneva, the third man is the boss of the Higgs boson experiment, Satyendranath Bose, so brilliant and yet so overlooked. It is Bose after whom the subatomic particle boson is named. The $10 million Large Hadron Collider experiment in Switzerland could not have happened without Bose and Albert Einstein. In 1924, Bose sent a paper to Einstein describing a statistical model that laid the basis for describing one of the two categories of the elementary particles that make up an atom, of which one was boson. Einstein had already won the Nobel in 1921. The British scientist Peter Higgs, who eventually came up with his theory of the Higgs boson, is now widely tipped to win the Nobel. It is Satyendranath Bose, who for some reason never won the medal. Perhaps he became a victim to institutionalized racism. In such a case, the international community and the Nobel Academy should make amends through immediate recognition of his work.
And if you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com.